Welcome to this new tutorial for Ghostmatter. Ghostmatter is an add-on to help you mix materials, and let's see how it works. So you can just go here and find the Ghostmatter editor. So this is like the material editor. It works with nodes. So select the object you want to edit, and you can use Start to create a basic setup. So we can mix here one material to another. We have to add a new material. So let's add this one here, and let's make this one unique. Okay, so now to edit the material, you just have to double click on it, and you are ready to edit this one. We'll see the group input later. I want to create the dirty wood part, so let's add a RGB curve. I'll make it darker and less brighter, like this, something like that. Okay. To go back to the editor, you can double click on the background or click on this button. Let's double click in the background, and here we go. We have two materials. Okay. Now to mix them, this, you can add a different any node, existing node from the Blender materials editor. But we have some specific ones, like in the mask part. Let's use this one. So the smart mask will have many options to create a mask. Let's use the edges. So you can see the eyeballs on any node and on every node, and you can just click on it to preview the output. And if you want to rebuild the entire materials, you just, for example, you're here. If you want to rebuild the entire material, you can just double click in the background, and it will set up the entire material. So this is very cool, because when you're trying something like this and you want to see the result, you just have to double click on it on the background. Okay, so let's set this up. So this is the edge value. You can use ridge or valley, and you can use the ridge scale. Let's disable this, and you can see the ridge. You can push this to a bigger value, like this, and you have a built-in noise can use, and scratch that make different noise. And there's a gradient function, so you can use the contrast on this. So let's see if I plug this here, what is the result. Okay, maybe I want to invert the entry. Yeah, and that's much better. So you can easily add some dirt around the different parts, and we can add some dirt in the other parts. So let's use another smart mask, and this time we will use oxidation. Oxidation is a kind of noise, complex noise, and we can use this by using different settings in here. And let's customize this the UV mapping. So we'll use a coordinate, texture coordinate, and mapping. Okay, and let's use the UV, the existing UV. And I can plug this here. So now this noise is is on the UVs, so I can customize this by reducing this part, for example. Let's try this, yes, and it will look much more like wood. Then I want to accumulate all this noise, or these values. So I can use a map node to do this, or a mix node, but I can use this. You can see here there's an input. You just have to go here, plug this here, and choose the way it will blend. I will use a screen, and let's see the results. Okay, so we have different things. We can just change this, create more contrast. Okay, something like that. Let's see what's the result in the full material. Yeah, maybe I can add more of this. Yeah, something like that. Maybe I can change the value. Yeah, that's much better. Okay, and you can edit this if you want to try something else. Okay, so that's it. Maybe I can change the value here to make it less contrast. Okay, so that's it for the wood. Let's now create something for the laser part. So for this part, this is a bit the same. Let's use start to create the setup. Let's duplicate this, and maybe this time I want to use a new materials. So let's remove this one, and let's create a new one by using the plus button. And let's first find the best mask for that. So let's go back to Smart Mask again, Edge. Let's see the result, and let's use a value like this. Something like that. Okay, maybe a bit of noise. Okay, and that's it. Maybe I can add more contrast like this. Okay, I can plug this here, and probably I want to reverse. So I want to add dirt on this part, so let's create a basic materials quickly. I want it to be darker, maybe in brown. I don't know if it needs to be darker like this. Maybe it's good like this. And maybe less roughness. Okay, this is just for the demo, and you can see how it works. Okay, for this part, and now let's create a much more complex metal material. So for this, I can use start again, and I want to mix to a much more complex metal, two different material. So I will go to my asset browser and I will get another metal I want to use. Let's see, this one is good. So we add this button so you can import the object, the material to the scene without applying to anything. So just do this and now the material is here. So I can just duplicate this one and choose this new one, rusty metal. Okay, like this. So you see the ID, there's a part with aged metal and a part with a much more bright metal. So let's create some mask. I want to create a mask on the blade side here. So let's do this with a one of the mask component. It's called object gradient mask. Let's see how it works. So this is a gradient controlled by an object. So let's create an object with this. As you can see, there's an empty here, and if I select, if I watch this, I can see that the empty is controlling the gradient location. So I want it to be spherical. You will see the ID quickly. Maybe the other way. Yeah. I can go here and scale it. And I want, and here we go. This is very simple, very efficient. Okay for that. And you can see that when I select something else that the object I am customizing, I'm not able to select the different option in the editor. So you have to go back to the object selection. So now let's add some noise to this. So for that I can use a smart mask and the oxidation again. And this time I will use another mask that is called noise ramp. So noise ramp is something that you can use very often by using a ramp and a noise, and the result is a mixed result like this. So with one node you can just add a very efficient mix to customizing your ramp very easily. So yeah, good for that. One trick I can do to have to give a direction to the node, to the noise. Let's use a basic one, coordinates, texture coordinate, then a mapping node. I will use this as an object and plug this in the mapping, so you can use custom mapping. And here I can just turn this to switch this to normal, so the normal will point everything to the origin. The origin is here, so that's good for me. And now, as you can see, the normal is always all the noise is stretched to this point, and I can change, can use variation by reducing this value or this one. Let's see the result. Okay, this is not so bad. And I can use a different option, like for example, I can do something like that, adding, let's insert this. Yeah, like if when there's different point of contact to the blade. And let's use this as a mix between the two materials. And here we go. Okay, not so bad. And now what I can do, I can add some other tricks, like for example, let's use another smart mask. Smart mask will give you very many solutions. So let's add some things like that. Much more contrast. At some point. Okay, and I can accumulate this value by going here and use a screen, and everything is accumulated. So maybe I just don't want this part. So if I want to remove this part for this mask, for this, what I can do, I can use this gradient mask. Let's, for example, add a mask node, and let's try to push it. Let's see what happens. I multiply it to grow its value. And let's see if I want to add this as a filter. So I want to invert. Let's invert the value. This, like so. So if I'm using multiply on this value, it must be okay. And let's invert this. Let's set the screen after and multiply before. Multiply. Let's see that. Okay. So as you can see, there's no more effect on the side of the blade, on the sharp side. You know, it's filtered. So that's what I wanted to do. Good. Now I can use another edge mask because I like it, and this one is can add some very cool effect. It's called damages. You can use density. These little points give a lot of details to your materials. So let's just add this in here in add a screen, and let's see that. Yeah, you can see there's a lot of reflection points. I don't have to use this, maybe much more bigger mediums. Okay, now I want to add some dirt in the corner here, so for that just simply add another mixed material. Do this. We need a dirt material, so let's use this one, I've done for the wood, and let's see the effect of this. Let's use another edge mask, and this time we'll use the valley effect. Let's see that. Let's add some more contrast, like so. Okay, good for that. Let's see, and maybe this one, let's make it unique to customize it freely. I want it to be much more darker and maybe less saturation. Let's make it really dark, you can see it. And you can spread it much more like that. And it adds some cool details. Yes. Okay, and now if I want to add something, a logo on this side of the axe of the blade, I can use an image. Let's add an image texture, and I want to open texture. So this is a pre-blurred logo to have some result as a softer bump. So to map this here, just simply use the Ghostmatter tools. So select the object, select the texture, and then you have a decal button. And you can use scale, G to grab, scale again. Okay, and press enter to validate. And let's verify. Yeah, it's okay. So we'll use this as a bump and reflect this here. And I can use a value like a 3, for example, and as you can see the border of the image. That's just because you have to switch from clip to extend. And that's it. You have the logo here, and what you can see is that if we go here and preview this, you can see that the edge detection is using the overbump too. So that's make a filter to push this color inside the carved part. So that's it for now. Let's see the full object. So that's it. Thanks. So let me show you another thing that's very important in this add-on. Once you are here and you want to for example, I don't know, maybe you want to use this as a texture map, that's you can bake. There's a node for bake. Just bake image baker. Just plug this in the image value, and you can bake. Choose the resolution and the samplers. Maybe I can choose this, and let's hit bake. So the tool will bake to a bitmap all this mask, and once you're done, you have this button. You can create the image, load the image here, and you can save as, because it's not save. It's when it's like when you paint in the or when you make a render without saving. You have to save it, but I can see it. Let's see that. Okay, this is the same. So now you can save this in your texture. Let's do it. The texture, let's call it blah blah blah. Okay, save. And this texture can be used, and you can get rid of all these nodes or rebake it later if you need some things, but all this is baked in a image texture now, and you can plug this here and everything will work fine. So you can bake any node, any part of this value, and use it as a bitmap. That's really important. A really good feature. So that's it. Bye.